Hello everyone. In this session, I am going to cover topic from FIVSCIT, subject Communication Skills, Unit 1, Chapter 1, that is 7 C's of Communication. Now, what is communication? Communication is a process of passing information and understanding from one person to another. First of all, we'll see what is the purpose of business correspondence. Now, in business world, there are so many reasons why people want to join for their business. Okay, so now what are that purpose why they want to join the business? Okay, so today in today's world, so business correspondence includes written communication in the form of letters and emails, memoranda. Memoranda are just short messages, then your reports. Okay, so it often serves the first point of contact. Means now when we are sending letters or when we are sending emails, then what we are doing, we are trying to contact with each other. Then we are drafting a message or business letters to each and everyone. Now business letters can be your formal letters sending to your friends, or informal letters sending to your teachers, then otherwise for where you are going for jobs, then complaining of your societies or some municipalities, that can be your business letters. So it requires a flow of thoughts or some articulation or some commands you have to give through your languages. So that will be seen in our 7Cs. Now this is the purpose of your business correspondence. Now what it includes, you're seeking information. Seeking information is nothing but you're gathering information from different types of sources. Okay. Second is your inquiries and reply to inquiries. Now if someone is sending an inquiry message to you, now like you are at your home, okay, and if you want to inquire something, either you will message on the WhatsApp or you will send an email to the particular teacher for your inquiry, and that reply when that teacher gives to you is called as inquiries and reply to inquiries. Means you both are contacting with each other, you're connected, you're communicating with each other. Then third is complaints and making claims. Now, if at your home now AC is not working, so what you are going to do? You are going to complain to that company that my AC is not working. So please, you send someone to repair that. So what you are doing? You are complaining, okay, and making claims are like we are claiming our insurances of any product or of any vehicles. So that is a claiming process. Then adjusting claims of the customers. Now here adjusting claims of the customer, who will adjust the claims of the customer? The company will adjust the claim of the customer. Means we are complaining and they are trying to uh, complete our claim. Means fulfill our claim. Then fifth is our job application. Now job application. Now if you want to do job somewhere or you are going for an interview somewhere, firstly you need to prepare your job application. Resume is the second part. Writing application is must. So job application should be done and then the resume should be attached to that. Okay. Then six is personal letters. Now personal letters are the letters sent between our family, then our friends. That are some personal letters to be sent. Seven is bank and insurance letters. Now bank and insurance letters are also must, because if we are contacting with the bank, if we are having an account with the bank, so sometimes we need to write some letters for the bank also. Or when we are taking a loan from the bank, that time also we have to write some letters to the bank. Then insurance letters also should be given of any other product or something if we are buying that, like policies and all. Eight is your sales letters. Now sales letters, what it consists of? Your marketing letters, like if you are buying a product, then you are getting a letter with that your product is for this so and so years, or warranty and guarantee is given to that. So that is your sales letters given from the company or shop to you. 9 is social and goodwill letters. Social and goodwill letters are written for social work. Okay, so social work, your writing a letter to your society chairman to clean out something, or to if your light is not working. So that are your social. And some goodwill letters means you are trying to communicate with them. So these are the purpose of business correspondence.
Now we'll move ahead and see the 7 C's of effective communication. Now first here comes completeness, then concreteness, courtesy, correctness, clarity, consideration, and last is conciseness. So we'll see one by one. First part of 7 C's is correctness.
Okay, now see here. Here it is clearly stated that a business letter should be correct in all aspects. Means now your grammatical mistakes means your spellings should be proper. Then your comma, full stop, that should be given properly. Your syntax structures means writing letter from right hand side or left hand side, that should be properly maintained. Means your we are writing that subject, then to all, to someone, so that should be properly written. Then we should sign our letter. Okay, right, thank you for that. So these are all grammatical mistakes, so syntax structures which we need to see when we are writing a letter to someone, or when we are writing some any of the report, or any of the um, whatever theory part we are writing. So there should always, it should be a correct letter which we are sending to others. So correct punctuation marks also should be given properly. Then your letter should be correct in providing accurate information. Accurate information is like, you should, if you're writing a letter, you should not write a letter for 2 to 3 pages. It should be of short and simple letters of 1 page also, it can be done. Okay, so lengthy letters, it you should not write. It should be simple. It should contain all terms of facts and figures. Facts and figures are like, uh, your figures means whatever your, if you want to share your feelings in figures and facts, so you can do that. We can use symbols also in that. Then you can schedule the times also. Then formulas, names, whatever you are writing, that should be written properly. Then layout of the letter should be correct. This letter I'm talking about not writing by hand. Okay, I'm talking about writing our Gmail letters, means when we are writing email on the computers, that I'm talking about. Okay, so spacing should be given, mistakes should be avoided. Then the sender name should be written properly. Then sender address should be written properly. If you're writing informal formal letter, then your whoever you are sending, their post or the designation should be mentioned properly. So this all should be checked when you are writing your letters. Second is clarity. Now, clarity is nothing but your letter should be clear. It's clear in all aspects. Your spelling mistakes, your writing work, that should be clear. Clear. And second one is unambiguous. Unambiguous means whatever you are writing, that should be with one possible meaning only. Means like, if you are saying that, for example, example, we can say that I'm going to college, call you. Okay, so this is not a proper sentence. Okay, in that what we are writing, that I am going to college and call you is there. So whom do you call you? I should call you or you should call me. So that should be clear, that I am going to college, I will call you or you should call me. So write the sentences properly. Means unambiguous is clear. Means that you are stating a statement where you are writing the full statement. Now if I'm writing I'm going to college, call you, means it is an incomplete statement. It is not mentioned clearly what I should do next. So it should have a possible solution or possible meaning to that letter or sentence. Then uncluttered layout is your whatever you are writing, the part of layout, means whatever you are writing, that should be properly mentioned. Spaces should be given. Then your spacing should be properly, means between two words spaces should be there. Or we are not writing some how we are writing in our notebooks, that no spaces, then not leaving the lines. So we should not do that way. Then the message should be clear and easily understandable to the recipient. Now if you are a sender and you are sending the message, so you should write the subject of that, to whom you are giving the mail or you're sending the mail. You should write their name properly. Okay, if their Gmail address or email address is wrong, the recipient will not receive the mail. Okay, recipient is nothing but your receiver. Then the purpose of the communication should be clear to the sender, then only the receiver will be sure about it. Means if whatever you want to communicate with your receiver, that should be clearly stated in your mail. Then message should emphasize on a single goal at a time and shall not cover several ideas in a single sentence. Now whatever you are writing, it should not be in a single sentence only. Give full stop, give comma, whatever you want to say, you should write it properly in your letter. Not of 2 to 3 pages, but like 4 to 5 lines or 8 to 10 lines you should write. With paragraphs, means if you are writing 2 to 3 lines, first paragraph, then again, then second paragraph, third paragraph. So receiver will be clearly understand that what you have written. Okay, so this. Next you have conciseness. Now conciseness is nothing but it is a short in size, means your letter should be short in size. You should use short sentences, you should use short words instead of long ones. It's, not as much long words you should use. You should find simple words for your letters. Then the letters should be familiar to everyone. Means when you are sending the letters to receivers or any other person, then it should be familiar words, with familiar words. Otherwise, that word you only knows, but he doesn't knows. So again, there will be a misunderstanding while communicating. So you should use familiar words only. Then you should use concrete nouns, like simple words, nouns. You should use mainly nouns for that. Okay, so conciseness is nothing but ability to communicate in as few words as possible. Okay, then the message should emphasize on single goal at a time and shall not cover several ideas in a single sentence. And the sender should avoid the lengthy sentences and try to convey the subject matter in the least possible words. Now, if you are writing someone letter and in subject we are writing, right? You have written the letters. Then in subject you are writing 2 to 3 lines in subject only. So, what your letter will consist of? Your letter will consist nothing. Okay, so you should try to write in very short letters. Then The short and brief message is more comprehensive and helps in retaining the receiver's attention. Now, if you are sending a message to teachers that like now you are sending an assignments. So what you write in subject assignment number one, or you will write that I have written the assignment number one on so and so date. No, you should not write this. So your message should be very simple. So this is your conciseness, that it is short in size. Afterwards, you have concreteness. Now, concreteness means the message should be clear and particularly such that no room for misinterpretation is left. Misinterpretation means your misunderstanding is left. So here your letter should be fully clear and there should not be any misunderstanding between two persons, the sender and receiver. So all the facts and figures should be clearly mentioned in a message so as to substantiate to whatever the sender is saying. Substantiate means understanding. Whatever you want to say, you should clearly mention in that. Then you should avoid vague terminology. Vague terminology means you should avoid unnecessary words. What we are using, that you should avoid it. Then it is particularly useful while providing the employees feedback. So concreteness is useful when you are taking the feedback from anyone. Then you have completeness. Now completeness. The completeness means your message, whatever you are sending, that should be completed. It should not be incomplete. Then the complete information gives answers to all the questions of the receivers and helps in better decision making by recipient. So recipient is nothing but your receiver. So whatever your information, when you are providing a complete information to someone, so it helps in taking a better decision. Now as for example, you can say when you came here to take admissions in college, then you submitted online form, offline form, your documents. Afterwards, we informed you that you have to pay so and so fees. Do you want to take admission in this college only? Then you said yes and no. So what do you give? You have provided us with the complete information like your forms, then your documents and your original documents. So that clearly stated that you want to take admission in this college only. Okay, so that is your complete information, means whatever you're providing, that should be completed. Otherwise, if the complete information is not that, then we can state that yes, they don't want to take admission here, so we'll go ahead. So completeness is nothing but thoroughness, means all you should do it completely. Then business messages should include all the information required to follow up on your request. So request means on your request. Now on your request only we have admitted to you to the FIBSCIT, like you have paid the fees and then only we have admitted. So that is your completeness. The incomplete data will not only confuse the audience, but it will also require more than one cycle of communication, leading to wastage of resources. Like if you are giving some speech to someone, okay, or you are giving on some speech on the occasion of any function, then if you are not providing the complete information, short information you are providing, or incomplete information you are providing, then the people who are sitting, they are not going to understand. If the people are big, they will understand, but the small, if the people are small, if there are some children, they will not understand what you are saying. So you should try to complete your data or complete your information what you are providing to the receiver. You are the sender and receiver should be understandable. Next we have consideration. Now consideration is nothing but your mindset or your knowledge or whatever opinions you are giving to someone, that should take into consider, means that should be considered by the receiver. Okay. Or you are the sender and receiver wants something from you, then you should be understandable to fulfill his needs. So that is the effective communication between two persons, that is sender and receiver. So in order to communicate, the sender must relate to the target recipient and be involved. Okay. So your communication should be receiver friendly and sender friendly also. Sender friendly means you are sending your proper knowledge to someone, and then receiver should also take that. Now what teachers do, they try to complete their portion, they try to understand whatever concept is there, they try to share with you, they try to understand you also. Then so receiver, now you are the receiver, so you should also help teachers that whatever doubts you are having or whatever problems you are having in your um, syllabus or your units or your whatever data is provided to you, if you are not understanding, then you should say or you should inform them. So that is your receiver friendly and sender friendly. Okay. So this is consideration. And last you have courtesy. Okay. So courtesy is nothing but giving respect to someone. Okay. So what it implies that the sender must take into consideration both the feelings and viewpoints of the receiver. Feelings and viewpoints are the main aspects in courtesy, where you should spread the positive message to the audience or your receivers. So here you should include the words like when you want to go somewhere. Now if when you are in the class from um, school itself, you are learning that when we are going when we want to drink water, then we ask teachers that may I drink water, or when we get something, then we say thank you, or when we do the mistakes we say sorry, or if we want to go somewhere, or when we are uh, talking with each other. Okay. If we are talking with elders, then we respect them and we greet them. Okay, we say hello and hi and all everything. So this is a courtesy, means you should please them or you should say thank you and all at a number of times. That doesn't mean that you are uh, you are not a courteous, means we are doing our proper work, we are courteously greeting them or we are asking them. So these are your 7 C's of your communication.
These are the questions asked from this unit. First is, what is the purpose of business correspondence? Second is, what are the 7 C's of effective communication? Thank you for watching my video. Do like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.